The booking of the TV title in ECW, at sometimes it was even more high profile
Than the world.
than the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were aware of that at the time?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, when Rob had it, I mean, he was the golden boy, and rightfully so. I mean, he was having amazing matches, doing amazing things. You know, it was just, I don't know why it was, you know, I'm sure Paul had his reasons. I mean, I can't articulate it right now because I just can't think of it, but it was just the way it was. And yeah, it seemed like it was the most important title on the show, yeah.
It's more of that rule breaking, I guess, that the ECW guys kind of threw the traditional wrestling.
Yeah, you know, but it also meant, I don't know, man, it was almost like certain titles were meant for certain guys. Like the world title was like for the Shane Douglases and the Tazes and the you know, guys like me, you know, Jerry Lynn, and RVD was just almost in a league of his own. And so was that TV title, you know.
Yeah. If do you think Van Dam would have had the same, had they put the world title on him?
Yeah.
Do you think things would have been the same? Was it interchangeable, the titles, is what I'm trying to say? The reason that
I
the
think
TV
where
title
Van
was,
Dam would have gone, it would have been.
Right.
I mean, originally, what Paul had told me was the dream match, and there were reasons. I mean, there were matches. If you go back and look at some tag matches done on pay-per-view where I was on the opposing side, it'd be like, you know, me and Lance against somebody and RVD. I remember specifically Paul would always say, don't have Van Dam and Incredible Touch, because they were brewing for the big angle where I would have the title and finally drop it to Rob, or Rob finally got that, you know, the prize,
right,
which of course never came to fruition due to what had happened, but that was always the intention.
that was the plan.
Yeah.
How would you rank Mitchell as a manager?
I don't know. I mean, he was a great character. You know, could speak. You know, wonderful promo. You know, very creepy. He could draw money, I think, in my opinion, with his promos. As far as traditional managerial, like, you know, let's just say Bobby Heenan, I don't think he had much of that. But all the other stuff he certainly had. I mean, he was very, very entertaining and very, you know, interesting. He was intriguing. Fans wanted to know more. You know, he had that just the right gimmick, the right, you know, it was just everything he did kind of made fans wonder, kept them wondering.
And with that mystique and that vibe, funny that karaoke becomes
well, I mean,
good fit. Have you
know,
seen him perform?
I have, yeah. He's pretty damn good.
Okay.
He's pretty amazing.
How deep does the devil worshipping thing go? Card carrying member of Church of Satan kind of thing?
You know, man, you know, I think it's all a bunch of bull.
Okay.
I mean, maybe you know, maybe if there's 2% to that, you know, but he's too nice of a guy. To me, when I think of that stuff, I mean, I'm a Christian, so when I think of that stuff, I think of evil, bad people, and he's the kind of guy who would give me his shirt off his back. Chilly Willy. I mean, it wasn't really I mean, it was just more of those, I don't know what it reminded, almost like an Iceman, King Parsons, just that, you know, I don't know, it was just kind of a generic athletic kid that didn't really know what to do with.
Was he a tough guy, tough man competitions or something?
I had heard something like that. I mean, he was talented, but, you know, no more, no less than anybody else we had.
Did you ever play it?
I have.
Okay. How were the royalty checks at that time for something like this for you guys? Were you seeing action?
I had signed a guaranteed contract to be paid, every week, X amount of dollars per year.
Right.
And all of my merchandise was included in that weekly check. So, but it worked out. I mean, because
I can go one way or the other, you know.
Well, no, I mean, because if I'd have gone the other way and waited for, HHG Corp to really
cut your
itemize,
check.
yeah. I mean, look, I was making $3,000 a week, wrestling 2 nights a week. I made more for ECW than I did for Vince.
Yeah.
So I was quite happy to give my T-shirt sales and my, likeness on something like that up.
Did they do as good a job as they could at that level, or do you think that there could have been a bigger push for some merch because of your popularity, that kind of grassroots?
I think they did fine.
Okay.
I mean, I had several T-shirts out there, several things. I mean, I couldn't complain. I mean, they did a lot with me.
You're a tight crew, I know the ECW guys. Did you have any problems with a quick job like that versus?
No, never, man. It was, that was the beauty of it. You knew, like for example, when I worked in WWE, you look at the lineup, oh man, this doesn't look good. Things are starting to go downhill. Like everything is micromanaged and you're sweating every move. There, you knew if you were to drop something like that, next week on TV, you'd be set up with another angle going maybe even in a better direction, or what have you. So no, I never sweat that.
It was never a writing on the wall kind of thing.
No, not there. At least not with me personally.
Right.
I never had a fear of anything like that in that company, creatively at least.
What's the background of the match? Why did they decide to do that, and why Asbury Park?
I don't know. I figured Asbury is a great arena for wrestling. Mm-hmm. It's an old building. It's not really utilized by very many acts, period. And it was always a very strong place for ECW. So it was just, I think the logistics were there. The building could allow something like that, because it was a pretty large building. And they did everything else. They probably figured, why not? And I just don't think that they had the right guys doing that.
Well, I was going to say, did you bring in outside guys to handle that aspect?
I would hope so. But, it's ECW, man. Who knows?
Does the locker room, when something like this happens, tend to side with talent or management?
It depends. I think Sabu, first of all, was very well liked, and as much of a knucklehead as he could be sometimes, and still is. We all love him. He's like one of these guys that you can't not like, and he'd probably admit it to you that he's made some boneheaded decisions. So, I don't think it was just like, it's just Sabu being Sabu, And, I don't see sides really being taken. It was like, hey, if that's what you want to do, go ahead. We knew he'd be back at some point.